Leave it. Hold. Yes. Okay. I missed that one a little bit because she stood up.
So before she stands up, you have to reward her.
Right. Leave it. Oh, no reward. With her retrieving and not letting go, the best thing to do is to teach her how to leave it.
Okay.
Okay? So with our program, we'll be teaching her the sit, the down, which she does already, the stay, the leave it, solving the jumping issues, the nipping, and probably also resolve the crisscrossing during the walks. Okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of this jerky. I'll prepare little bits. Okay. Then I'm gonna keep my other hand close and let her sniff it. Let her try to take it off my left hand. Then as soon as she ignores, yes, I'm gonna reward.
Which is what are we rewarding her?
The same thing. I'm holding the reward on my right hand. Yes.
We are rewarding her for what?
We are rewarding her for not trying to take the treat off my left hand. Because she's interested, but she's, again, yes. What we want is any sign that she's ignoring or stopping herself, any kind of impulse control.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Try it again. Yes. So right now we're not giving any verbal feedback, or we're not. Well, we are giving verbal feedback, but we're not naming the command. It's very important that the dog develops some muscle memory first and a visual memory of what's going to happen next. It's like teaching a 2-year-old. Yes. There you go. The best dogs that I train, I think we can teach it to around 5 to 15 minutes on average. Yes, using the same technique.
So she just ignores it now.
Yeah. So again, it's just part of the training. So of course, when you're teaching dogs, there's a lot of factors like how smart the dog is, what kind of a breed is it. How powerful is the treat, how young is the dog, and of course the technique is also very important. Yes. So this is level 1. Yes. So notice that I'm not moving because I don't want to introduce unnecessary body language that she does not need to learn. Yes. So I want her to just focus on what we're trying to teach her. Yes. Okay, I think we are ready. We're gonna go to level 2. Level 2 is we're gonna be showing her what we want her to leave. Okay? Yes. Wow. So I need to be very quick about it. I need to be very quick about it before she even has an idea that, oh, treat, I need to get that. I need to reward her immediately so she makes an association. Oh, look, treat. Oh, wait, no, I don't need to get it because a treat is coming over. So it's a visual
that means it hasn't registered to her yet that it was like a big treat.
Well, she saw it and then she's probably conflicted. Yes.
Wow, that's so
So she's trying to make an assessment of what's going to happen next. And she's making a prediction. I don't need to take it because coach has been very clear that a treat is coming anyway.
Galing, ha?
Up. So, whenever she stands up, tries to take the treat, I'm gonna take it away as a form of punishment. And what I do when I'm teaching dogs is, I usually ask them to do a sit or a down, so they're much more relaxed. Whereas if they're standing up, they might just go and grab it immediately, rather than if they're doing a sit or a down, they're much more relaxed. They need to stand up first and then go to the treat. So it's sort of like a clue for me to that this dog is not going to be able to just take the treat immediately.
Right.
And then of course when you're teaching this, you have to understand the 3 Ds that I usually say. One is distraction. How powerful is the treat that you're asking to leave alone? 2, distance. How far is the treat from the dog, or how far are you from the dog? And then duration. How long do you expect the dog to just ignore?
Like now.
Right. So right now she's losing patience, and that's fine. I'm just ignoring her. I'm not even giving any attention because I want her to understand how the game works. So show and give a treat.
Wow.
There you go. So I think she already has that little bit of impulse control. Then we can start naming the command or the behavior cue, as a lot of people like to call it. Leave it. Yes. Try that again. Leave it. No rewards for that. Leave it. Yes. See how I held back a little bit? I held back a little bit because I want it a little bit harder. So I'm trying to
And
increase.
then also, she notices that.
Right. We're trying to increase the duration of the wait. And down. Try that again. Up. Leave it. I'm just gonna try to let her frustrate herself and not be rewarded. I can reward that, but again, I'm just trying to really let it stick. I'm just gonna be rewarding as soon as she gives up.
And she looks at you.
Yeah. Yes! There you go. So when we're training, it's not really training, it's really more of teaching the dog through games. So this is just one of those games.
Yeah. Is it different teaching an older dog?
It's almost the same, however, you have to address the other issues as well. Especially if it's a bigger dog, you might want to put the dog on a leash, probably put the dog on a head halter. Maybe if the dog is not too interested with food or toy.
There's another bait like that.
Right. You need to be creative. And so much harder, of course. Leave it. Yes. Perfect.
Good job, babe.
Perfect.
But is it harder?
What, to
like,
what?
If it were like
An older dog?
Yeah.
Definitely it is always harder if it's an older dog. But it's always harder when it's an older dog. However, it's not impossible.
It can still be done.
It can still be done.
She's so impatient.
Which is great. I love the impatience of a puppy.
Yeah.
Because they're always willing to learn. That's why. Leave it. Yes.
Yay, baby! Oh my god.
So it has now become a game. Leave it. Yes.
Wow, that's what Tati was saying. That your dog can balance it.
Right.
Tati was like, she won't eat that treat.
Have you seen her?
No, but Tati was telling me because she wanted to come and train Bailey also now one day.
She's great. She's great. She can be a dog trainer if she wants to.
Because her mom
she has
is
the
also
patience.
yeah.
But I don't think her mom really wanted her to be a dog trainer. I mean, who would want to be a dog
Well,
trainer,
you know,
right?
she's so patient because she has no siblings. So that's really those are her siblings.
Right.
So she's really sweet with them.
Right. Now, being a dog trainer is tough. There's also a lot of competition. The Philippines is just a small country compared to the United States or in the UK.
Yeah.
The market can get very crowded, even with
but
trainers that are not really that
don't
qualified.
really know how.
I'm not sure what their education background is, but training dogs, you need to educate yourself, not just through experience.
Yeah.
You know what they say,
Like
you as a coach as well.
Yeah.
Experience is dangerous without education.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Leave it. And even until now, yes, I'm still learning. I'm still training myself. It's a lot harder though when you're busy.
It's hard, yeah, it is. But it's harder when you have, I'd rather have someone who knows, who's read up, you know, who's taken the effort to, instead of, I'm sure there's so many, like here, and when you walk the dogs, they're already random people who come up and say, oh, kaya namin i-train yan, like that.
Really?
Yeah, because they come from another house, and I'm like, no, he already has a, I say, she already has a coach.
Leave it. Yes.
Good job, babe.
Yeah. And a lot of people can say when it comes to training dogs, yes, they do have the experience, but experience doesn't make you an expert. And same thing with people who probably read up, enrolled somewhere, but you also need that experience.
You have both. You need
right?
both, yeah.
And as I consider myself as an artist as well because of what we do, our craft, right? So though there is science to it, there's also the element of art in it, and how do you teach it?
Exactly. Because if not, it also becomes boring for them. You know, you have to think of new things of how to.
Yes.
What's the hardest dog you've ever trained?
I've trained a lot of for dogs, but let's say usually the hardest dogs to train on basic obedience are dogs that's not food motivated. Yes.
Are there dogs who are not?
There's a lot. Like chow chows aren't that too food motivated. You need to really condition them first.
Yeah. These guys are always food motivated, no? Retrievers.
They're always. They're such a dog. What else? Guard dogs. No, not guard dogs, but Nordic dogs like a husky, Akitas, Samoyeds. They're a little bit harder to train than the usual. There are some Shih Tzus that is just hard to train because they just wouldn't want to move at all.
Like ours.
So they don't have the motivation. There's a lot, but even with golden retrievers, there are some golden retrievers who are just too much to handle.
Too much energy.
Yes.
How is her temperament? How do you find her?
I love her temperament.
Because even when I bring to the vets, they're very pleased with her.
Right. So far, her base, when it comes to her baseline, yes, it's great. Down. Leave it. It's a typical behavior of a golden retriever that you would want.
Good.
But again, you got lucky on this one.
I really did, because except for her allergies. But I think the vet said, well, golden retrievers are like the king of allergies.
Well, most of them. That's why you need to be really picky.
Yeah.
Of their line as well. You might want to also just try to get her hips checked as early as now, or probably in a few months, because they are also prone to hip issues.
Okay.
So, and you can predict. So even as early as now, you can give her some joint supplements.
Okay.
Leave it.
Almost.
So right now, it's really all about repetition. Down. but as soon as she gets it, we then transition to quality
How she reacts to
and the fidelity of the commands, right? So I'm going to try to transition to something harder. We're now going to go to level 3. Level 3 is I'm just going to place the piece of treat on the ground, wherein it's going to be so much more enticing for her. Hey, you ready?
Baby.
Hey, what's that? What's that, puppy-o? Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bit farther so it's a lot easier. Leave it, and then raise it up. So every time she tries to go for the treat, it goes away. Leave it. So now I know that she has really very little patience because she's seeing the treat on the ground. I would want to be ahead of that, then reward her immediately as soon as she just sees the treat, like this. Leave it, yes.
So she associates it right away.
Right, leave it, yes. Leave it, hold, yes. Okay, I missed that one a little bit because she stood up.
So before she stands up, you have to reward her.
Right, leave it, oh, no reward. You have to go back. Down. Leave it. Yes.
Wow.
There you go. Leave it. No. Go away. Goes away. He goes away, buddy. So the good thing about training this kind of technique to a puppy is you don't need to use too much force. So that's why we call it force-free. We use the least aversive force or punishment as much as possible, but it doesn't mean there's no form of punishment. Just ignoring is already punishment.
Yeah, it's already a form of punishment for them.
Right. It's just like ignoring a child because they want a new toy.
Yeah.
Leave it. Goes away. Sit. Down. Leave it. No. I don't even say the word no too much, notice? So sometimes I do use it just because it's a human response, it's a normal human response. But sometimes I do give those kind of verbal feedback just to tell them that they're doing something wrong, but it's not really meant to really punish. Because I mean verbal punishment, a strong firm no is a verbal punishment.
She gets affected when we tell her.
Right. Leave it. So we're struggling on this one, and that's normal. Again, it just means she's just really food motivated. So to make it a lot easier, I can move it a little bit farther. Leave it. Yes. A little bit of hesitation.
Thought twice, yeah.
Right. We have a few more.
Bailey, you just had lunch.
It's
Gosh,
infinite.
this dog.
Up. Come here. Again. And again. Up, bigger. Leave it. Yes.
Good job,
Yes.
Bailey.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I call a rapid fire reward.
You do it one after the other.
Sometimes more. Like really machine gun technique. Up. Leave it. Yes. Leave. Yes. Yes. Up. More. Back. Down. Leave it. Yes. Good. Goes away. Leave it. Yes. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Yes.
She's so conflicted.
Right. So we're trying to reward her
A video of this to show
before she even thinks of getting it. Daddy and her dog are so great with leave it.
Malo?
Yeah, Mallow. To a point, Mallow would move away. At least that's how Mallow understood it. Leave it. Oops. So I cannot let Bailey try to get the treat, because if she does get it before I take it away, she then might think, oh, you know what? I don't need to wait. I can just go make a run for it.
It's like a reset.
Right. Leave it. Yes. Good. Leave it. Yes. This time I'm going to be placing the treats on the ground far away from her. Leave it. Yes. And then I'm going to be taking one treat as a reward. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Good. Move it a little bit closer. Leave it. Ah. Moved. Leave it. Yes, and I love teaching this because they're so cute.
They are. She's so conflicted.
Yes, so that was just a reminder.
Oh.
So feedback is very important for dogs. Just like you're teaching a kid.
Yeah.
You don't let them figure it out on their own. You help them figure it out. Leave it. Yes.
Good
All right,
job,
now
baby.
I'm going to try to count so as we can increase the duration of the wait. Usually when it's just me and dog, I just count silently, but for this training session and for the video, I'm going to be counting out loud. Leave it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. Take that away to reset. And then I'll try that again. So our baseline is 10. Leave it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes! So I'm gonna give that a treat and a bonus. There you go. So
She
I think
almost went.
right. So 15 is gonna be our max for today because we can. I think we can push it to 15 or to 20 or 25, even up to 30. But I don't want to let the dog fail. You know how we're
Positive.
parang diba, old school way. I'm not really sure. But when I was going to the gym when I was younger, sabi nila, I didn't have a professional to guide me, right? So I was just lifting weights, adding weight as I went on until fail.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
No.
See, I mean, but if you go to your corner gym
That's what they do.
by the barangay,
Yes.
oh, you do push-up until failure. Really? Yeah, and then do lift 50 pounds until failure, and then I'm gonna spot until okay, one last, and everybody just come on, one more push,
Then you fail.
and then you fail.
Yeah, that sets you back.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's great because I think that also happens with dogs. If you let them fail, that sets you back probably 5 steps backward rather than
Break
move
something
forward.
in them.
Right.
It's always good that it's positive.
Really?
Yeah.
So even when you're lifting weights?
It's always, it's like we increase it by a very small percentage
Yes.
so that they don't fail. It's like every week or every 2 weeks you increase it by like 5 pounds. It's very minimal, but they don't fail.
So that's a completely wrong way of teaching somebody how to lift weights.
Yeah, that until failure.
Right, and then you
It's
end
so
up...
prone to injury.
Right, that's what I noticed. Parang, geez, I need some ibuprofen right after because this is just so
sore. Yeah.
Right, I think I have a micro fracture or
tear something.
Somewhere.
Billy. She always itchy.
Right. It can also be because of genetics as well.
Yeah.
Again, if you're not really too sure where you got her,
I think so, yeah.
they can pass it down, and though they are great, robust dogs, they're not perfect.
Yeah.
Diba? Right? Right. So sometimes I talk to my dog like that, like face to face, as if they're a kid, or like a best friend. You talk to them, hey, good girl, Bailey. Good. And then I reward her. So they just get used to, like us chatting, and we have Bailey here off the leash, and I have the treats with me. This is still part of training. It's not formal training, but this is life training.
Yeah, for her, yeah.
Right? So if she develops the habit of just watching people chat, and then because like the kids are here, they're doing their homeworks, they're probably watching and playing their Nintendo, or probably just checking out their Facebook or watching something on YouTube. And then Bailey's here, probably she's tied in the corner, or probably you're holding it, and then you have a treat ready, and all she does is she doesn't really understand what's going on. No one's minding me. You know what? I'm just gonna stay here. Yes. And then once in a while I do get a treat. That's actually training, and that's a far more effective training rather than just teaching the dog basic obedience.
Yeah.
Now, that's also one thing. We teach basic obedience because we want to communicate with the dog. Not because we want them to walk on our side. One reason why she is crisscrossing is, well, she's just overwhelmed with everything that's going on in the outside world. Scent, sight, sounds, and a lot of people expect that their dog's going to be walking beside them.
Yeah.
Okay, now that will happen if the dog is interested with you. So maybe that's also one reason that
should I bring treats when I walk her?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can reward her for following you.
Okay.
For now, if she's crisscrossing, we don't want that to be a habit. Just keep a short leash, and then let her walk beside you. And then if she's walking beside you, reward her.
Okay.
I think it's included in those handouts that I gave last time.
Yeah, that's why we were trying to walk her, and I kept gatisa to hold it.
Right. You need to use a treat. I'm not using it now because this is going to be a learning curve that you have to learn. But in one of those handouts I did, it does mention of a click. Well, this is the click. This is called a clicker.
Oh, but I've seen that in some shows.
Right. So even dolphins, sea lions, sometimes some trainers would use clickers instead of whistles.
Or yes, it's like
or yeses.
Yes. Oh.
So when it comes to our program, again, before I used to give out clickers or probably sometimes require my students to have their own clicker. But eventually I found out, you know what, that's another learning curve that they have to learn.
Yeah.
Whereas when it comes to training you to use your voice, it's a lot easier because you always use it and you always have it with you.
I have it with me all the time, yeah.
Right, and a lot of people just forget the clicker. So the reason that I still use a clicker is because it allows me to fine tune a behavior. And because if you're training a lot of dogs, can you just imagine how tiring it is to just keep taking yes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So there. So it's always the same thing. It's almost the same thing. Leave it. No. Goes away. So sometimes the dog, if they do fail and try to go for it, I do allow them to fail sometimes. Just because, so just they know now, but okay, I did this, nothing happens, or I don't get it. So I won't do it again. A lot of people kasi parang they think that punishment is just wrong. No, there's nothing wrong in punishment.
No, they have to know what's,
They need to be well-rounded individuals, right? Just like kids. So they need to know what are the consequences of their actions. Like right now, it's ignoring.
Yeah,
you end up having a spoiled dog and you lose control just because you don't have any treats with you. Now the problem is with some people, they use punishment out of the back. But okay, I'm gonna be putting the treat and hey, don't take that.
Yeah.
So the dog ends up being confused and sometimes fearful.
Yeah.
So with me, I can probably use a verbal punishment or even just holding the leash. Hey, right? So only if I have already taught her what I want her, right? So we'll try that. Yeah. So that's just part of the proofing stages, of course. But I'm just going to try to do a demo. But I don't think she's ready for this. Leave it. No, she's